So this is the video after we did two cases, a knee and a big toe, and then we're continuing with your big toe. Not yours, but this other guy's big toe. And
Yeah,
you said that this guy
thankfully
said,
not.
yeah, okay, and you said that this guy was like he came to the conclusion you're probably going to want me to do this very often.
Correct.
Okay. I know that this is going to come out within the learning module, but I want to kind of like give context to this. So if you look at like the reason why we said, hey, we're gonna go we have a Bulgarian strategy for connective tissue in regards to programming, which means that if there's an issue, just simply it means a lot of things, but for simplicity's sake, let's say that you have a bottom-up reactive strength issue, we're gonna essentially put you into the biology department. And what that looks like is every 6 hours if we have to, right? So we work in high performance, but we also have another practice. So like if you got a guy who's, you got an NHL guy, you got an NFL guy, and they're, let's say you got an NFL guy, and it's every week, right? You're trying to get as many loadings as you can on connective tissue that's abnormal, and that's why we're saying, hey, we go Bulgarian on the biology.
Mhm.
Okay, right? Because it takes, according to Keith Barr and other literature, it takes about 6 hours for the refractory period to occur. Meaning, like if you stimulate the tissue, I think how he describes it's kind of like flushing a toilet. When you flush a toilet, the bowl has to clear. Well, from a cellular perspective, you need that 6 hour break. So we're
Right.
saying you leverage the internal isometric continuum and statically load this tissue like crazy for brief amounts of time, but but like every 6 hours. But the Bulgarians, what they did, right? If you look at it, right, what they did was essentially they would take like six training maxes in a day, 6 days a week, and then one day off. Okay. And what that showed us, we've written about this like a long time ago, but it just showed us that like if you can be hyper specific with stuff, you can train at a much higher frequency. Okay, but the Bulgarians, this is a huge distinction. So what we did was we took because we're living in, this reactive strength paradigm. So we were like, listen, they trained it as much as they could, the nervous system. And so we're just going to do the same thing, but for the biology, right? But you can also use the Bulgarian method for neurological stuff. And technically, you can increase the amount of loading. Right? So think about that big toe case. This guy's neural net doesn't know where the big toe is.
Hmm.
So it's not necessarily like there's biological constraints to it, but the first one is neurological. And that's why he's like, everything that you walked us through, he's like, oh, I can feel the progressive stuff, I can feel the regressive stuff. You're going to want me to do this a lot. Correct. And in this case, the Bulgarian strategy is different because it's for a different ecology. We're now trying to build like the neurology up so that this starts to like he starts to use these tissues, this big toe, etc. And in that case, you don't have to wait 6 hours,
Correct. Correct.
right?
Yeah.
Because we're trying to, and the reason why I'm saying this is because I have several cases right now of people that have very uh spine stuff. So I got a guy that has three artificial discs in his neck, right? And dude, the disc height actually there's a video. It's not coming out for a couple weeks, maybe even a month. There's a video of us doing oscillating isometric muscle actions through this dude's spine. He loves them.
Nice.
He loves them. He loves them. He can't. But what's funny is he can't get his wife to do them because she thinks that they're too dangerous. We've been trying to tell her, listen, they're still an isometric. He's like, this is what gives me the most relief, right? Anyway,
I got a fake neck and I'm doing them.
yeah, yeah. So the reason why I say this is because he has extensive neurological tightness, let's say,
Hmm.
right? and and he was also on muscle relaxers for 2 years. So
Yep.
he's coming off of the muscle, and now the tightness is ramping up. So he has to do the Bulgarian, but not for the bottom up tissue to dampen tightness.